Group 1 racing returns to Sha Tin this weekend with the Hong Kong Gold Cup and the Queen's Silver Jubilee Cup, the second leg of the Triple Crown and the second leg of the Hong Kong Speed Series as well. A very warm welcome to Racing to Win. I'm Andrew Lejeune, joined here in the studio by Paul Lally, our former analyst and race caller, Brett Davis as well. And Brett, whichever way you look at it, it's a massive day. 11 races as well. Yeah,
early start, Andrew. So at 12:30, the first Hong Kong time. It is a massive day. Two great Group 1s. The defending champions are both there to try and recapture the title again. And, of course, the reappearance of Pakistan Star is obviously going to be a massive draw card. It's a good quality program right throughout, actually.
It is. And speaking of massive, Paul, Triple Trio.
There is a huge jackpot in the Triple Trio. I wonder where you're going with that. 18.5 million, so we're going to get up to about $30 million for a winning single $10 unit. So massive money on offer there for that Triple Trio. There's 15 first starters to get your teeth into as well.
Yep, Christophe Soumillon, Gerald Mosse and Huge Bowman also in town.
Yep, brilliant day ahead of us. We need to get straight into it. Loads to get through with 11 races on the card. Start off with the withdrawn runners. Happy Meteor's out of race number 5. So Orion Ids now starts. Dylan Moe in the saddle, claiming the £5, of course. And in race number 6, Royal Prerogative, replaced by Primero. Matthew Poon, the £7 claimer in the saddle. That's race 6, number 7. So meeting number 50 of the season. 11 races. We're on the B course as well for Sunday's programme. We kick things off with a Class 4 over the 1,200 metres with Flying Lover dropping into Class 4 for the first time. Bossy was a course and distance winner with Sanna in the saddle 2 starts back. The debutants, there's 3 of them. Hong Kong's Folks, My Champion and Striking Mr. C. They're all 3-year-olds. Butte was the last start course and distance winner. Formula Galore probably rolled from barrier 5 and Winner St Paul up in class. He was foiled on his hat-trick bid last time out.
Well, Hong Kong's Folks, Andrew, did have the blinkers on in his most recent trial. He showed good speed in that. It was an 800-metre trial. Formula Galore's been kicking through lately, showing pace, and he's got a low gate. I expect Flying Lover with the claim for Matthew Poon to roll forward, so they're primarily the 3. Once they get the lead, they may sort of ease the tempo.
First one we'll look at is the first starter, Hong Kong Folks. Now, when the blinkers went on this horse, he was a different horse. He's been well prepared, 3 trials in Australia, 4 trials here, and the blinkers have really switched him on. He's £11.28 for debut. His debut run is Hong Kong Folks. Little Bird and My Champion here. Little Bird will be racing later on. My Champion is the one that's in this particular race. He's got blinkers on for the first time. He's had 5 trials. He's 1,075. He's the one on the far side in the orange saddlecloth we were looking at. And here's Butte, last start winner. Was a bit of a rogue going around the bends early in his career, but he's learnt, the pennies dropped, and he won nice and impressively last time, so he's going well.
Yep, and it's probably a pretty good place to start as well with Butte. He did it from a low gate. He had barrier 1. He's got barrier 2 this time. Neil Callan now jumps in the saddle as Alexi Bedell has left these short. It wins nicely. The horse finishes second, actually. Carrying Brilliance runs later on.
Yeah, that's him just in behind the running pack there of 6 or 7, and he just sort of edges towards the outside, gets into the clear. He over-raced a little bit, but I like the fact that they rode him a touch patient here, and he really strided to the line strongly. I was very impressed with this performance because he has been a little bit wayward, but as Paul's mentioned, the racing that he's done has certainly matured him more, and I think he can win again.
Yeah, that Speedy King ran 3rd in that race. He's come out and won, and Arizona Blizzard's won well as well. So, yeah, I've got him in the numbers. I think he'll run well again.
All right, so certainly one to consider. Winner St Paul's was having a tremendous time of things with those back-to-back wins in Class 5, but even finishing second last time, he finds himself now in Class 4.
He's in the bottom of Class 4, but the interesting thing is when he was with a previous stable, he was a Class 4 winner off a rating of 48. So, effectively, he's still well rated, and he's a horse in form at the moment. So, look, I've found a place for him.
What did I do with him? I've dropped off. Look, Golden Cannon ran over the top of him here. That just concerned me a little bit. He got 3 points for that placing there, which kicked him back up into Class 4. As Paul mentioned, he was a winner in this grade, but I'm just thinking he's going to drag back and might struggle.
All right, OK. What of the first starters, the 3 of them? Let's begin our look with Hong Kong's Folks. We saw him in track work. This is the trial.
Yeah, now this trial looks good, but it is an 800-metre trial and the blinkers were on. If you go back and have a look at the previous trials where the hood was on, they were only fair for me. He was a little bit raw, as you would expect for most young horses. And here we are throwing him in with blinkers first time, barrier 8, 1200 metres short run to the first bend, little bit of pace. If he happens to miss the start by half a hop, he's in big trouble for me. I'm going to let him go. I'm not suggesting he's not a nice horse.
All right, Striking Mr. C, we'll come back to him, Paul. He's a 3-year-old by Super Easy, the star from Singapore.
Yeah, first time we've seen a Super Easy here in Hong Kong. He's had 3 trials here. He had 1 in New Zealand before he got here. Big horse, 1,281 pounds. His tongue tie goes on. Didn't mind the way he hit the line. I've found a place for him.
He's raw too, as you can see, but he's going to get better and better, I think, with more distance, 1,200 metres plus. But I am going to sneak him in for 4th because I just like the way he found the line there, even though he did a lot wrong.
All right, you didn't get a chance to talk about Hong Kong's folks, Paul, but now you can.
Yeah, because I've got him on top. I did like that trial. I know it was only 800 metres, but he's a horse who's changed with the blinkers on. You've seen these Hitchenbrooks come here like beat the clock. They're really normally first up, and Joe Moreira's ridden him in all 4 trials, which is interesting. I thought if the horse was no good, he would have jumped off by now. So he's on top to beat Butte Butte. One of St Paul's with the lightweight down here in Class 4. And Striking Mr. C, as Brett said, I thought he was a bit raw, but hit the line very strongly. Tongue tie goes on. 4, 9, 13 and 7 with the QQP.
I'm going to go with Butte Butte. I thought his win was outstanding last start. He's had some experience now. I like the way he sat in and closed off. I think he can win again. I think Formula Galore run a cheeky race. I think Flying Lover will cross over from a wide barrier with Acclaim getting a drop in grade, can run well. And I've got Striking Mr. C in for 4th. I'm not against Hong Kong folks as a horse going forward. I just get the feeling this might be a little bit of a task, 1,200 gate 8 first start. And if Joe's aboard, you're going to take under odds. I'm happy to let him go. He might well win, but I'll set him aside.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I've got Flying Lover in as well, so I'm glad you've mentioned him, Brett. I'll drop in class. Good run behind Mr. Lumiere last time over that 1,000.